Hi everyone, today, we're going to take a look at the 5 best tablets with stylus on the market for this year. First, we're going to show you our 5 best picks, then we'll talk about what you should look for before buying a best tablets with stylus. You can find timestamps and links to all the products we mention in this video down in the description below. Let's get started. Which is the best tablet with a stylus? There are a lot of choices with Android, Windows 11, and even iPads. I review almost every tablet. Scroll down to find the best ones with pen support. Pens for tablets haven't been popular for a long time. However, that changed with the Microsoft Surface Pro and Samsung's S Pen tablets. By now, you can even get all current iPads with an active stylus. And even though Apple is late to the game, they managed to release amazing tablets with pen support. There are a lot of other choices out there. I've tried most of them, and here are the best I reviewed in the last year. Tablets with pen, an in-depth look. Let's check out those tablets in more detail. You can find the full reviews of all devices listed here linked below each one. Number 5. Samsung SMT733 Kaxer Tablet with Stylus. The Samsung Galaxy Tab S7 FE is a much cheaper alternative to the Galaxy Tab S8 Plus and Lenovo Tab P12 Pro. And that means it's also a much less expensive competitor to the 12.9-inch Apple iPad Pro. The Galaxy Tab S7 FE also has a large 12.4-inch screen, and while it's a normal 60Hz LCD, it's a good one. Without having to pay extra, the S Pen is included and works just as it does on the Galaxy Tab S8 Plus. Here it never can be charged, and that means it cannot be a remote in PowerPoint. Besides that, it works the same and the software is the same too. That includes the Samsung Notes app and the Air commands. Even though the Galaxy Tab S7 FE has a metal body too, everything else is weaker than on the S8 Plus. It's lacking a fingerprint scanner, has 2 speakers instead of 4, and the cameras are weaker. On a positive note, it supports the same 2 great keyboard covers. The performance is quite a bit weaker, but good enough for most apps, and the Samsung DeX desktop mode runs great too. Inside, the Wi-Fi version runs a Qualcomm Snapdragon 778G processor, while the 5G variant features a Snapdragon 750G chipset. Still, it's more powerful than entry-level tablets. Number 4. Apple MK2K3LL/ a tablet with stylus. The Apple iPad 9 is weaker than the iPad Air, but it still plays in the highest league in many aspects. And since it's so affordable, starting at around $330, it offers a fantastic value. You get a lot for what you pay for here. While the iPad 9 does not support the Apple Pencil 2, you can use it with the first-generation Apple Pencil 1. They're almost the same, but the Pencil 1 is lacking a touch-sensitive area, and it's charged using the Lightning port of the iPad instead of inductively. The software, including Apple Notes and the Scribble feature, is identical as on the Air, Mini, and Pro. At 10.2 inches, the display is a bit smaller than the Air, but it has the same brightness of 500 nits, and it's a 60Hz panel as well. Sadly, the screen is not laminated, and that's the only big downside of this tablet. It means there's a visible air gap between the IPS panel and touchscreen. That's why it sometimes seems like the pen is not touching the screen directly. That's mostly noticeable when you know about it, because every time I give the iPad 9 and the iPad Air to a friend, they never notice that difference. And I still think it's great, especially for handwritten notes and for students, because it's so affordable, and the Apple Pencil 1 still works great. However, if you need to draw super precisely, for your work, for instance, it's better to get the Air or Pro. Number 3. Microsoft IUR00001 Tablet with Stylus. The Microsoft Surface Pro 8 is the best Windows tablet with pen support. It's an interesting choice if you need Windows 11 and/or want to replace a proper laptop with it. That's what you can do with the Surface Pro 8 for sure, because the hardware is the same as in many notebooks. except that you can also use it as a pure tablet with a stylus. You can use the Pro 8 with the Microsoft Surface Pen, the Slim Pen, as well as the Slim Pen 2, which was newly developed for the Pro 8. That one is charged inductively by placing it inside the keyboard cover. Another cool feature is that the Slim Pen 2 has a vibration motor built in, which is simulating a little bit of resistance. Because of that, it feels more like writing on real paper. Windows has been supporting in Stylus for almost 2 decades now, so it's no problem to use it to navigate the system, and even old traditional Windows apps like Adobe Photoshop and other graphics apps support active pens well. For handwriting, I can recommend OneNote in particular, which is a Microsoft app that seems to be specifically designed for Surface tablets. You can get the Surface Pro 8 with a powerful Intel Core i5-1135G7 or a Core i7-1185G7 processor, as well as with 8GB, 16GB, or 32GB of RAM and an up to 1TB SSD. We get a premium metal body, 2 good speakers, Windows Hello facial recognition, as well as an optional keyboard cover. That one is outstanding, by the way. Number 2. Samsung SMX700 Zaxer Tablet with Stylus. The tablets of the Samsung Galaxy Tab S8 series directly compete with both Apple iPad Pro. In fact, regarding many aspects, they're very similar. Based on my reviews, they're the best Android tablets on the market today, and all 3 versions come with the S Pen included. That's the active stylus from Samsung, which, unlike the Apple Pencil, never has to be charged. You can charge it if you want, though. Samsung is offering lots more software features for the S Pen, and that includes the exceptional Samsung Notes app. With that one, you can write down handwritten notes, draw something, and annotate PDFs. Using the Air commands, you can quickly start a new note, take a screenshot and annotate it, or use it as a magnifying glass. There are tons of more features, of which some are just a gimmick. I love that you can use the S Pen as a remote in the Camera app and Microsoft PowerPoint. For that to work, the S Pen has to be charged. But for writing and drawing, it never needs to be charged. The Galaxy Tab S8 has an 11-inch LCD, and we get a 12.4-inch Super AMOLED screen with the Galaxy Tab S8 Plus. If you need something even larger, you can get the 14.6-inch Galaxy Tab S8 Ultra, which also has a Super AMOLED display. All of them support 120 Hz, so writing and animations look very smooth. While their Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 processor is not as powerful as the Apple M1 chipset, it's faster than other Android tablets. That SoC is supported by 8GB, 12GB, and 16GB of RAM, and the hardware is powerful enough for the newest games and demanding graphics apps. Number 1. Apple MYFQ2LL/a Tablet with Stylus. The Apple iPad Air is the best alternative to the iPad Pro, especially if you want to get an Apple device and want to save a bit of money. With its 10.9-inch screen, it looks almost identical to the 11-inch Pro and supports the same Apple Pencil too. The iPad OS software, including the Notes app and the Scribble features, are identical. At 10.9 inches, the iPad Air has a tiny bit smaller screen, but it's almost impossible to see. However, when looking carefully, you can notice that it has a standard 60 Hz panel instead of a 120 Hz one. So, when drawing with the pencil fast, the writing doesn't appear instantly. But usually, it's quite hard to see a difference. With 500 nits, it's also a bit darker than the Pro. Inside the Air sits the same Apple M1 chipset that's also inside the Pro and in many MacBooks. That means that the processor and graphics performance is outstanding, and even with this a bit cheaper tablet you can play the newest games and produce 4K videos. Face ID is not supported, but it does have a Touch ID fingerprint scanner. On its sides are 2 good speakers with 4 speaker grills. Thanks to a premium feeling metal body, it looks and feels just like the Pro. However, the LiDAR sensor and wide-angle camera are missing on the back. Well, as I said, the iPad Air is very similar to the Pro and a great choice if you want to save some money and can live with a few restrictions.